as part of the Creatively Fit coaching, I'm doing a 3-part video series to teach you how to access some of the elements of what we've done, but more importantly, how to create a personal painting practice for yourself, something that you can start without having to have any training, no painting practice or training necessary, no prior experience, and really you can do it relatively cheap because you can do it with what you want to do it with. I've done collage, I've done crayon drawing, I've done watercolor painting. I have found my love in acrylics. So right now, that's where I'm playing. I'm playing in acrylics. And that's something you'll hear me say over and over is playing, because that's what this is it's fun and it's playing. And if you don't know me, I've had a bit of a health journey. And just when I think I'm over it and I'm ready to celebrate and I'm ready to start this time of my life, guess what? There's more health concern. But guess what? I still have a life to live. So this painting practice has helped me capture the beautiful moments. It has helped me express myself. It has helped me identify areas of stress, and it's helped me transmute that stress into something beautiful. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of that journey. If you too have had struggles in your life, doesn't have to be health. You could have had personal struggles in another way. Or if you're just looking to find ways to add play to your life, if you, like me, ached for years and could not wait until I couldn't wait until I retired to play. I wish I would have started playing earlier because I probably wouldn't have the health issues I have now. So listen to me now and hear me later. If you want play in your life, let me help you find a way to bring that play in. And this is just a really simple process that opens the door to that play and helps you listen to the universe and hear the messages that might be coming your way, telling you just where play is. And I wasn't listening to those messages, and they kept coming and kept coming. Guess what? I finally listened, and I've never looked back a day. And I don't feel guilty for it. I've learned that shame and guilt are ridiculous methods we use to control ourselves. We don't even have to have somebody else control us. We do it ourselves. And I don't participate in that anymore. So we're going to start this process, and I'm going to take you along on this journey of a 3-part painting practice. The first step when you're going to do acrylic painting or watercolor or whatever is to choose what your canvas is. I've chosen just these simple Walmart canvases. And the first thing I'm going to do is pick some colors, and I'm going to teach you right now what colors work best together. Do you know what colors work best together? Whatever colors you choose. There's no trick to that. I am going to just blindly pick out some colors from my paint bins that are over here. And I'm not even going to look. I'm going to look at you, pick one color. Here we go, primary red. Here we go, picking 3 colors here. Oh, they're all greens. So I'm going to pick a light green and a bright green. Put that back. Going to reach over here. Picked out 2 colors, a purple, kind of periwinkle. Oh, mint. I love that color. I'm going to pick out a couple more colors over here, see if I can get some different ones. There's a bright yellow. I'm going to put the red back because we already have one of those. And then I'm just going to intentionally pick this big blue here. Is that enough? I don't know. If it starts to look like we need more, then we'll get more. Now, I have just this cheap little canvas, or palette that I'll be using. It isn't all the way cleaned out, and that's okay, because all I'm doing right now is picking color. So I'm just going to squeeze whatever colors it is I want out. You notice I'm just squirting. It doesn't really matter where or how for this step of the process. I do try to kind of keep some of the similar colors together. I know this one's running out, so I'm going to give it a couple of squirts. What I also know about yellow is that yellow doesn't go well over other colors and show as itself. It's going to blend with those colors you put it on. So red is also that way. Your blues and your greens sometimes will stand up. So if you want your yellow to show, very simple little technique is that you start with your yellow first. Start with your, and then move to your red. And what I do is I start with my lighter colors. Sometimes I'll add the red on, but during this step, really all I'm going to be doing is writing intentions. So we've chosen our colors. We've learned that the best colors that go together are the ones we like. I could have used all reds and yellows and that would have been fine, but for the benefit of what the outcome, where I know I'm heading with this outcome, which is showing you as much as I can show you, I wanted to pick some colors that are in each of the color families. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to center myself in a space of intention. This is the space of intention. And what I'm over here doing is trying to pick which brush I want to use. And I'm just going to use a very simple, just little script brush, just almost like one that you get in your paint kits when you buy them. So the only other thing you need besides your canvas, your paints, a paintbrush, and water is your intention. So for me, because of all of this health stuff, I'm going to center this canvas on health and just intentions of what health would bring to me, what it feels like to me, what it signifies over my life path. And I'm going to just spray some water in the last open well of my palette so that I have some water to wet my brush and then to wet my paint to thin it down to write with. And I'm just going to start with the word health. And if you have your paint somewhat thin and loaded on your brush, it will stay thin on your canvas and it will lend itself to blending with other colors as well as creating something that feels good. So that's what I do. Like I said, I go from the light color to the next lightest color, which is that light green. What else does health bring to me? And I spend some time in meditation before I begin a painting. And I did that before I started this. I got my space cleared and set this up. And then I spent some time listening to a little bit of music, got a little candle. I'm just focusing on what it was that health or other intentions that I may wish to paint later would bring to me. So health brings me strength for me to be able to do the things I want. It brings me power, and I'm going to write an I statement. I am powerful. But do you know what it brings more than anything for me? It brings me time. And you know what? I hadn't even thought of writing time on here, but I'm going to. I'm going to make time huge because without time, and I'm thinking specifically of time with my family, time with my son and my daughter, time with my nieces and my nephews, time with my mother and my sister and brother, time with my great nieces and nephews. Without those things, without time, I have none of that in this life plane. And that is what is most important to me, is the time that I spend loving them. So time, love, and you see how red blended with the blue there to help make purple. That's okay. Because this part of the stage is not what's important to the final stage. It's what's important to me in beginning any painting process. So if I were doing this painting for someone else, a gift for someone else, I would think about them and what practice, what intention would I have behind creating something beautiful for them. So time, family, love, cherish. Gifts. I still have gifts to give to this world, and I'm not willing to give up. I'm being selfish here. It's not just this time with other people, but time in what I have to give to the world. I'm not done. I'm going to put fight on here because that's becoming so important to me. Knowing that I will fight the fight that needs to be fought, and I will not sell myself short in any way. So if it's important to get me this time to become strong, to be this powerful creature, to share my gifts with the world, to have health, then it is right up there in the most important thing in my life right now. So this is what then helps me to kind of see where this picture could be heading. You're not going to see any of this in the end. This all disappears. But it's the most powerful part because it's you, getting in touch with yourself and deciding what's important in your life and deciding what's important in your practice. Why are you going to be the one establishing time to create this personal painting practice? Why is this important to you? This is going to help you identify that, but it's also going to help you when you look at your art around your spaces, wherever you give it to people, or you display it, or you sell it, or you hang it in your home. You're going to remember the time you spent in this very important step. So I'm going to continue writing and overwriting here, and I'll bring you in on the next step. But thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for understanding. And thanks for being willing to tap into what's important to you. Because if you don't take time for play, and you better believe play is going up here, because this isn't work, this is play. If you don't make time for play in your life, you're missing out on some of the best times. Think about the times that you enjoy your life. You enjoy those times you get together and play with other people, whether that's card games, or it's going to the movies, or it's having a birthday celebration, or it's whatever. It's that time you spend in play that enriches and fulfills your life and creates those memories. So it's time to start doing that while we work. And I did mention I've retired, but I also had and have a part-time job. And I've learned to do this during that time too. Right now I've taken some time off to play, but to heal as well. So I'm going to put some more time in this. What does that look like? Specific physical healing. And I'll come back to you for the next step in the process. Thanks. So just to share with you, because this is really not a process that should be sped up or skipped over. As I was painting here, things began to come up. I put on dream, hope, fight, and then I painted some hearts. And then all of a sudden this arrow appeared, and I realized that that arrow in this instance symbolizes battle. Right now I'm in the fight for my life. We all are. We all are. Make no mistake about it. We are all in the fight for our life. But right now, this is very poignant to me. And so I realized that it was time to fight. I've spent my whole life fighting in one way or another, fighting for my family, fighting for children I taught, fighting for teachers, fighting for parents, fighting for administrators, fighting. I've spent my life fighting, but I really have not spent the time I needed to fight for me. And right now, what that fight looks like is fighting for play, fighting for exercise and nutrition, fighting for doing whatever the doctors say to do at this point, loving myself enough to fight for me. So there are all kinds of battle words on here now. Fight, battle, battle for me, battle through, battle over, and as I told you, you're not going to see any of the outcome on this when all of this is done. This is going to end up being a completely different piece. You won't know this is behind here. I will know it's behind here because that's the intention I put behind it. But there's so much process that goes through this. There's so much getting in touch with your heart, getting in touch with the real you as you do this. And it had been decades, if ever, that I really was in touch with myself in the way that this personal painting practice has brought me in touch. So I hope you'll take some time and put some intention behind a canvas. We're going to let this one dry before we do the next step on it. And come prepared with your piece of art. This is best, for me, best done in acrylics because it's when this dries, it's dry. This is not going to bleed into my next piece. Now I will show you. It is dimensional because I haven't squished out the words. They're still there. You can still see them. You can still see the shapes. And I may spend just a little bit of time just adding a few more things because as I talk to you, I realize some more that needs to come out. This is like processing things that need to come out of your heart and out of your head and out of your intuition and onto this canvas so you can visually see it. I'm a visual learner. I see it. I remember it. It's there. When I do this, I normally do it with music too, because that music helps solidify that memory for me. So this isn't just another painting tutorial where you paint with a twist or you paint, with a wine or whatever. Have all the wine you want while you're doing this, but it's really getting in touch with yourself. You can do this with a group of people. We can do this together. I can walk you through this. But this is the first step, getting in touch with your intuition and setting intentions behind what you want your life to be, not what you want the art to be. I have no idea what this could become in the end. I know what I'm going to show you you can do with it, but then I'll probably paint over it and make it something else. Some of my paintings are 15, 16 paintings deep. That's because I'm still processing what occurs on this canvas. So for me right now, this is all about health. And this is going to remain about health for me. Even if I walk you through some symbols you can do, this piece for me is about health. So I'm hoping you will set an intention and see what comes out for you. And I'll see you here for step 2.